Alright, what's up YouTube? This is Josh again from Boosted Creation. Today we're going to do a tutorial that I'm going to be calling the Millennials Guide for Oil Changes. You may feel like you're going to be free falling on this if you've never done an oil change before, but by the end of this video at least, that you should have a inkling or a clue of what to do. Alright, first you're going to have the vehicle lifted. In this case I was at work, so I was able to have it on the actual lift. You're going to have an oil caddy or a drain bucket, whatever you just happen to have handy at the time. Then you're going to, in my case I forgot gloves, so this is where I went to go get gloves because our city block water was out for the whole entire block that we were at. So I had to grab some single-use neoprene gloves. As you can see, I come back with them. And this is also where I think I was checking the camera. Alright, now we're ready to get started. Alright, first we kind of got just a quick evaluation of where the caddy's set up. And then we're going to grab our 17 because we were working on a Hyundai at this time. Most imports you'll find they're usually a 17 or sometimes an 18. So we're going to break that loose. We're going to bring the old caddy up to it so we don't have a lot of splatter. And then we're going to proceed to take it out the rest of the way by hand. And you got to watch out too, the exhaust usually runs from the front side of the engine back by the drain bolt. In this case the cat was on the oil filter side, which you'll see here in a second. Then when I get the drain bolts loose, I usually like to wipe them off and kind of see what the threads look like, make sure they're not damaged. I do this on my personal cars as well. Alright, now that we've got the oil draining, we're going to go ahead and move up to the oil filter. And it's nice to have a set of oil filter pliers like I had here. You also got to be careful because, like I said, the cat was on this side, so there I'm breaking it loose. Kind of break it loose and you'll have some oil drain. Just use your caddy or drain bucket, whatever you're happy to have. This is where I kind of have some issues getting the oil filter broken loose to the point where I can actually get it off because the car had just ran before we pulled it into the shop, so the cat was pretty hot. So I'm going to give myself a couple seconds here to get that loose. Alright, now I got that loose. I did have to readjust the oil caddy here so I could kind of, yeah, that's where I burned my arm a little bit, but had to readjust the caddy to where I could actually get my hand up to the oil filter a little easier. I think I'll do that here in a second. Nope, I already got the oil filter down. Alright, well now I grabbed the new oil filter, which in this case, the myth is whenever you get a filter, take a little bit of the old used oil and run around the O-ring on the new filter. Well, and my personal belief is you just don't need to do that, because in most cases there's still oil on the actual block surface. So when you're putting the new oil filter on it, unless it's a dry surface, you really don't need any lubrication there because it's already going to be there. Alright, so now I've got that new oil filter on there. I'm tightening it by hand. You don't really want to get it super tight, but at the same time you don't want it to where it's just going to vibrate loose and fall off. So I get that oil filter tight. I wipe down the surface that got a little bit of oil on it. It's just, it's kind of typical for an oil change. And I proceed to put the drain bolt back in. Now when you're putting the drain bolt back in, you want to start it by hand. You don't want to, try to put a socket on it and go full force. And in this case, on this part of the clip, I think one of my friends or coworkers started doing something, so I had to run over and see what they're doing real fast. But yeah, like I said, start it by hand, get it all the way down as much as you can. And this is where you want to just give it one good tug. Once it stops by itself, you don't want to over tighten or screw up those threads. Alright, well once you're down, you got all that stuff done, you're going to lower down the vehicle. You're going to be on the top of the vehicle, and you're basically going to have the oil cap removed. You're going to have the proper amount of oil you need, which you should be able to know or find out by calling a shop or looking in your owner's manual. We're going to put that oil in and put the oil cap back on, start it, and you're through.
Yeah, we live for the drop.